On today's episode of Path Monk Presents, I've got a very interesting guest with me here. Joining me is Ryan Kalman, who's the SVP of Revenue and Growth. So just for everyone to know out there what Wrapmate is all about, it's a nationwide platform that allows you to effortlessly get a custom vinyl wrap designed and installed on your vehicle at your exact price in your city. And here we have Ryan, who is startup environments, proven track record of driving extraordinary revenue outcomes. Ryan, it's a pleasure to have you here on today's podcast episode.
Thank you, Mariah. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Honored to have you here. So for everyone out there who doesn't know what Wrapmate is all about, can you, explain to them, give them an oversight in view?
Yeah, I mean, you did a pretty great introduction there. But ultimately, Wrapmate is a national vehicle wrap service provider. Through some innovative proprietary technologies and a coast-to-coast network of over 2,000 vehicle wrap installers, we refer to them as our Wrapmate pros. We can design, produce, and install vehicle wraps like what you see behind me anywhere in the country. It doesn't matter if it's one vehicle in a remote part of the country or hundreds of vehicles across multiple markets. Wrapmate can facilitate those vehicle wraps and an experience that customers love.
Sweet, that's awesome. So then in this case, would you say like you cater to all industries then for like anyone who needs to get their car wrapped for whatever it may be?
Yeah, we service a multitude of industries because given the cost-effective nature of vehicle branding, which actually few people know this, but the lowest cost per impression of any media is vehicle graphics.
Oh, wow.
Any company looking to grow their brand awareness can benefit from a vehicle wrap or even just simple vehicle branding. Some of our most prominent industries include home services, things like contractors, HVAC, plumbing, et cetera. You can think of that as, for them, their most qualified customer is the neighbor of the residents that they're serving right now. But we also see great success with CPG brands, childcare programs, and really any other mobile service-based business. So we do service really the gauntlet of industries.
Sweet, that's amazing. So then, what would you say is your top client acquisition channel then?
Yeah, so we utilize a multitude of different channels for customer acquisition. And that really kind of depends on the channels in which we're servicing. So predominantly, we work with small businesses, but we also service national fleets as well as franchises. So on the SMB side, we use a lot of typical methods, right? Digital methods, Facebook advertisements, Google, organic search, SEO, blogs, all of that seems to be the leading driver for acquisition on the SMB side. On our national fleet and franchise side, it's a lot of outbound efforts, everything from hosting webinars to outbound email. LinkedIn is a great source for us, as well as attending key events based on industry.
Oh, wow. Sweet. Amazing. That's really cool. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the website. So what would you think are the major strengths of your website overall?
Well, I think the biggest strength is really kind of the first premise that founded the company. The premise of the business was really based around solving one core issue. With the advent and adoption of the internet, pricing transparency became paramount for a lot of industries. Given the nuance and variability of vehicle wraps, the vehicle graphics industry was not one of them. So our founder, Chris Lohr, kind of took a look at the landscape of the industry and said, if we can provide pricing transparency online, this will be a major step forward for the industry as a whole. And so that's really kind of the biggest strength of our website. If you go to wrapmate.com, you can, in a few clicks, select your vehicle year, make, model, as well as any associated trim package that may be on your vehicle. And in seconds, get real-time pricing for various different coverage options. Everything from small stock graphics, business names, contact information, all the way to, like I said, full fender-to-fender wraps like what you see behind me. So the pricing transparency component is really the strength of the website. And I'm biased, of course, it's fun. It's engaging. You get to select various different vehicles, everything from, your typical commercial vans all the way through, really exotic sports cars and things like that, and see in real time what the pricing would be to do various different coverages.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually one of my favorite aspects of the website, which is, being able to customize and see like the make and the model, how it will look with the vinyl. I used to have a
Yeah.
Dodge Charger, a 2016 Dodge Charger. So I
Mhm.
like went in there and I like got to like, experiment and see, okay, this is really cool. And I think, as you were saying, the transparency is a really big thing. That way, companies know what they're going to get for their price. They know it's going to be a really great quality overall.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. So what would you say on the website are areas of improvement that you could say?
I think over the last few years, everything, we're a tech company at heart. One of the things that we're really based in is being iterative. So we're constantly looking at the different channels or flows in which customers go through and select their vehicles, or perhaps if we have over 6,000 vehicles in our library currently, but that is growing every day. So we've created various different pathways, if you will, where individuals can reach out to us if they don't find their vehicle. And that's an area where we're constantly improving, is making sure we're adding more and more vehicles to the site. One of the coolest individual improvements that I believe we've made, and is also an industry first, is offering financing. So again, going through the flow, when a customer figures out the coverage option they want for their vehicle wrap, they can actually apply in minutes for direct-to-consumer financing, which allows them to pay a small monthly fee to get the vehicle wrap on their vehicle, making it more accessible to really everyone, from the enthusiast with a Charger or Challenger, all the way through to the SMB who needs to get their brand on the street.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's incredible. And I like how, it's easy accessible for clients as well, making it very seamless and, straight to the point, which I think that's great. So now we're going to switch. We're going to switch gears here, and we're going to talk about you as a leader. So what does an average day for you look like within your role? What do you do?
Oh, an average day in my role. That's a great question. There's a lot of client-facing and partner-facing conversations. I spend a great deal of time servicing our national fleet partners and our franchise partners to make sure that their projects, as well as some of the innovative technologies like custom ordering sites that we create for these partners, are facilitating their needs to the best of our ability. As a leader here, one of my core values is always providing a 6-star customer and partner experience. When you think about it, that's how you grow a business, is you create raving fans. So a lot of my days just focus on that, is making sure that our partners and our customers walk away with their finished product ecstatic about the outcome. Aside from that, I spend quite a bit of time from day to day meeting with our marketing team and our operations team, both of which are absolutely critical to our overall conversion strategy. Our CMO, Javier, is an absolute marketing whiz. And because of him and I and our collaboration, we've been able to really see some great growth. And then Jake Lozo, our COO, who oversees our fulfillment team, everything from the production of the actual physical vinyl material through the scheduling of installations with our Wrapmate Pro network. We're constantly meeting, going back and forth on different things to make sure that every project, whether it's a remote vehicle for a small business, or one of our large national fleet partners, is having a top tier experience across the board.
And that's incredible. And I love how, it's a team effort for that, especially when it comes to, with just, requesting and designing and selling vinyls in general, because I've seen the process, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people don't understand how much work is required to be able to do something like this. Like the detail and the time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're after my own heart here. That is absolutely the truth. One of those things that the public generally takes for granted is the idea that you see vehicle graphics everywhere. Anytime you're driving on the road, from city buses to work trucks to even custom decals on enthusiast vehicles, they just appear to be one of those things that happens, that just exists. When in reality, the nuance and variability of these projects is quite substantial. And so there's a ton of legwork behind the scenes that goes into making sure that those finished products are really something that the owner of the vehicle, whether it's a business or an enthusiast, is absolutely in love with.
Yeah, exactly. You summed it up perfectly. So we're getting close to the end of our interview. Are you ready for some
Yeah,
fire questions?
let's go for it.
Perfect. Amazing. What is the last book that you read?
Ooh, well, I'm currently reading a book called Discipline is Destiny. It's written by a guy named Ryan Holiday. And really kind of the premise of the overall book is, the more disciplined and consistent you can be, the better your outcomes, the better your quality of life, et cetera. One of the things that I think is really interesting for me, if I were to go and start my career over in sales, and I think this applies to everyone, whether you're in sales or marketing or operations or tech. One of the things I'd probably really drill home to a much younger me is that you will go as far as your discipline will take you. Consistency in your effort, in your desire to learn, will ultimately be the thing that helps you to continually level up and grow. A common phrase I say around the office here as we continue to see tremendous growth is, you don't chop down a redwood tree by swinging an axe at it once. You also don't chop down a redwood tree by swinging at it wildly 1,000 times in multiple different spots. You chop down a redwood tree with sustained, consistent effort, hitting the same mark over and over again until you've done enough to make it tip. And, that's to me a really important thing for us here is, we continue to bring our best selves to work every day. We continue to focus on our customer experience, creating those raving fans. And then we use data to sharpen our axe, because that's another part of that puzzle of cutting down a tree is you got to make sure your axe is sharp. And, for us as an organization, being consistent in reviewing what the data is telling us about how our ad spend works, about how our sales conversations are going, about what our customer feedback is, allows us to keep our axe very sharp.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a really good book. I haven't read it, but I read a lot of reviews about it. And I think it transcends not only within the workplace, but just, for life in general, where, as you were saying, like, discipline is key for, any goal or any dream that anybody has, or for any, like KPI or whatever they want to hit, discipline is key and all of that. So
Absolutely.
definitely. All right. So we're coming to an end, and I want to thank you so much for joining us today on, Pathmark Presents, learning more about you and about, Wrapmate. And I want to give you the last word. If someone forgets about everything that we've talked about today, what is one thing that you want them to remember about Wrapmate overall?
I think the thing that I want them to remember about Wrapmate is that we're a customer-centric organization. We are here to, raise the industry as a whole, to help produce really outstanding results that help our customers to love their vehicles, their branding, if it's commercial, or their enthusiast vehicle, if it's a personal vehicle. Ultimately, our goal is to deliver that 6-star customer experience every chance we get, and operate with integrity. I think that's the most important thing about our organization.
Definitely. Sweet. Amazing. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. It was a pleasure learning about you and about Wrapmate. And for all of our listeners out there, check us out next week on Pathmark Presents.